Brooks, obviously we wanted to kind of talk to you about your dream gig, but before we do, Mayday have got a release coming out relatively soon, 18th of April, I believe. Sweet. So, I mean, we've been kind of fortunate enough to kind of have a listen to a couple of the tracks that are unreleased as well as the ones that are released, and you know, you've got some absolute hits on there already, I can tell.
100%.
So, just, I mean, what's your favourite?
I mean, we were speaking a bit earlier. By the way,
By the way, it's a huge song.
yeah,
I love and I wanted to talk to you about this. The opening with the piano, which I feel is quite a new way of going into a song for Mayday Parade. It was, how did that kind of choice come about over, you know, going with the kind of standardized guitars, and what was the kind of thought process, I guess, in writing that?
Derek wrote that song, and what he had mentioned was that he's using some software instruments, which is something that's newer for him. I think we've all messed with that, and if he has, I mean, it's very simple to throw up a piano, so that shouldn't be what I'm getting at. Like he's always been able to throw up like a MIDI piano and kind of start writing a piano song, but I think very specifically there was a vibe with a certain sort of instrument plugin or preset with the piano that just had this amazing verbed out feeling. And when you hear it, it feels different than just somebody playing a piano. It has such a cool atmosphere to it. And it sometimes when you're creating and you're in the process of demoing out a song, um, something like that can be so pivotal and key to the where the song goes. And I think this was the case with this one, where just the sound of this piano just created the atmosphere and directed the song where it needed to go. I love it. I think it's such a riff, I mean, it's just a simple piano part, but the sound makes it this riff.
Yeah, agreed. I think we were discussing it earlier, and you were saying that like having the gritty guitars kind of come in and just kind of open the whole thing up and make this kind of wall of sound, as you kind of progress into the song, also just makes it epic, like a real anthem.
yeah.
Um,
It's got that the piano has that real bouncy feel to it, and it's kind of very like I thought very nostalgic. I don't know. That's what it gives to me. And then
yeah,
you've just got these epic guitar riffs coming through, and it's a real juxtaposition, but in like a really nice way.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Um, Brooks, we're gonna ask you a couple. Well, we want to get our audience to get to know you a little bit better, as well as Mayday Parade. And so we're gonna just ask a few kind of quick questions. Harry, I'm gonna hand the first question over to you, if that's okay.
Sweet, yeah. So yeah, I mean, what's the origin story of Mayday Parade? If you could tell us a little something.
Yeah. So I've been playing music since 13, middle school, and I met Derek and started playing in bands with him even starting in middle school. Uh, we had been somewhat serious through most of the years in high school of trying to, be better writers, be better musicians, performance wise, and kind of going through even member changes and stuff where obviously these bands were not Mayday Parade before. It was like a Soul Hysteria and then a Defining Moment version, right? And those were kind of the names we had moved through, which were, in retrospect to me, seemed kind of like lame names, but they're fun, right? When you're young and you got to create name like a band name, right? But we played very seriously, tried to pursue where we are now through high school with the goal of going out on the road, being able to travel, put out music, write, great songs, and just have like a hard working work ethic towards what we were going to do. And I think to me that was that was the X factor. I mean, well, you had to have great songs, but like I just always there was all these bands that were signed to different labels, like indie labels that were good, maybe not great, and you'd go, I think we can do that if we work really hard, no matter how good the songs are. Now, luckily, the songs came with it, right, and pushed it to another level. But yeah, we just sort of wanted to always be able to tour, like maybe just play like 300 cap rooms and see where that went. We were able to go way past that. I guess I'm jumping ahead a little bit. We did form with another band called Kid Named Chicago. So it was Defining Moment, and there was a band Kid Named Chicago, and we just kind of joined members. And that came out of playing shows together in our local scene in Tallahassee, but also that came from sharing a practice space, which was a particular bay in a warehouse downtown now in Tallahassee. And a lot of bands did that. So like there was this whole warehouse where it wasn't a massive warehouse, but it was pretty big. Had 3 large bays, and each one of them had bands that practiced in there, and we had rotating schedules. So, we shared that bay with like 3 or 4 other bands, our particular bay. And that's how we came about though.
Amazing.
Epic.
Amazing. And I've been quite fortunate. Me and Josh, the other kind of co-host of this podcast, um, we were fortunate enough to see you guys when you came over at Brighton Concord. I don't know if you remember that venue. It's the little venue by the seaside in the south of England. You guys played there for, it was the anniversary of Lesson in Romantics, I'm pretty sure. And I think we left that concert, and we just turned to each other and said, that's one of the tightest performances we've ever seen. It was so, everything was so on point. And for me, I love going to see an act where it doesn't have to sound exactly like the record, but if it can sound close to it but still have that live feel to it, it is incredible to witness that. So I guess my question is, what's your favorite kind of UK based venue or festival that you've played at, that not so much maybe the band as a whole, but what one that you remember that really sticks out for you?
Well, Download Fest is really cool. We had done that years ago. That was a really cool venue. I mean, I'm sorry. Well, it was. It was a cool. It was very cool grounds, I should say. You're out in the countryside, and it pulls so many people together. It's an amazing, and large festival. So that was really cool. But I would say in the UK, one of the ones that always sticks out to me is the garage, and if I'm saying that right, I like we say garage, right? But the in Scotland, um, in Glasgow, right?
Perfect. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Brilliant venue. Brilliant venue.
But yeah, that's a really cool place where we had played so many times, and this just that's a great spot. But you bring up Brighton, like Brighton's a really cool area too. Like that's a very interesting part of the UK, and um, being by like on the channel there, it's such a cool thing, to like go to these places. But I bring up those shows just because they were some of the bigger shows that we did, and of course London's great. I'm getting sorry convoluted with all my thought, but yeah, the garage is the one that really comes back to me when you first asked the question.